This week on Cartoon Dumpster Dive, we cover the anime Grave of the Fireflies. So, do we apologize for doing this episode up top now, or do we wait till the end? How you want to handle this one, Joel?
I mean, I don't think we have to apologize.
I think we should.
I don't think we should, because I think if we tell these people, if you've never seen this,
yeah,
and if we advise you to go watch it, then we should apologize.
This movie needs, I mean, everyone needs to see it. That being said,
yeah,
this movie sucks because it makes you feel real bad about everything ever.
And
let me tell you something. If you got children, this movie will annihilate you.
Andrew, did it annihilate you?
There's one scene. I don't want to get too into it, but I don't want to. Yeah,
you lost.
No, I'm like, it's when Seta tells Seska just not to leave again. I'm like, fuck me.
So I think I was doing pretty good, like,
yeah,
the emotions, like, I was able to keep them down. But that was a scene where it was like, I just, you feel it in the back of your throat. You're just like,
I didn't even have any kind of well up. Like, you know how, like, when you cry, like, it's like immediately tears just started coming out of my eyes. Like, I wasn't crying, but like my body was like, that was too emotional. Your body just needs to produce tears. Because I was like, what the fuck? I'm like,
your brain doesn't have time to process.
My brain was just like, cry. I was like, fuck.
Oh, man.
But no, it's just like, this movie is unfucking relenting.
I've always heard that
the fact that we're doing this and we did Plague Dogs within the same year.
We have to be in our feels sometime, apparently.
But first, let's go to the alley of anime facts.
Yes.
With me, Andrew. If you're watching this on the video, I usually do, like, I name myself something, but this time, I guess it's too long this time, but it's Andrew, I'm not making a joke this time.
The movie is too serious.
The movie is too serious. For funny little puns. But Naruto was originally going to be a chef, not a ninja.
What?
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know how that changes the... Maybe he was going for a fighting food-ons type feel.
I want that. I want Chef
Naruto?
Yeah.
Maybe,
that's what I want.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah.
Make like a what-if story of Naruto. Well, instead of a ninja, he's a chef. Please.
Let's do it. Yeah. Well, Joel, let's get into how this got made.
So, Andrew, we've talked a lot. So this straight off, I always heard about how sad this movie is.
Yeah, I had too, but I didn't realize. I didn't know anything about the plot. You know what I mean?
I knew it took place during World War II. I
thought so. My original thought was, I was like, this is about the people post-bomb.
Okay.
Like, this is Nagasaki, Hiroshima, people dealing with the fallout. Because that's why I thought it was going to be so sad.
Yeah.
It's not that.
No. So,
in fact, sorry, I keep interrupting. But in fact, you only see, you see them drop the bomb, sorta.
Yeah.
Because you see Seta sees the plane, the B-52 bomber go off over the mountain.
Yep.
At least I think that's what's happening. Because
I don't know if
after, because because historically Japan did surrender and then we dropped the bomb on them. So so that in that scene, Satoa learns that that Japan has done they've surrendered completely.
Oh yeah.
And then he watches that plane go over. And then I'm like, okay, yeah, they definitely did. They definitely just did it. And also, in the beginning of the film, Setoa says that he died September 19th, 1945.
Yeah.
And the bombs were dropped August 8th and 9th. So he would have.
No, yeah, he
would have been there. Yeah.
Yeah. So this was actually done, animated by Studio Ghibli, which I did not realize that really Miyazaki, this wasn't like one of his stories that he created. This was actually based off of a series of short stories that was done by Haruto no Haka.
Okay.
Considered to be a semi-autobiography of his life. This man...
Okay.
Yeah, this man, he was 14 when World War II ended. And apparently, he has said that he was kind of living in a similar situation or scenario when he was 14 with a sister, a younger sister he had.
Okay.
It ended up better for him, I'm guessing. Well, I would assume so. If
you have to tell the tale to at least
exactly
the story.
So he wrote these short stories in 1967, or that's when it was published. The film did not come out until basically 20 years later, in 1988.
Wow.
The production actually began because they wanted to. Oh, I'm sorry. I said that the author of the short stories were Haturo no Haka. That is actually the original name of the story.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. The author for the short stories was a gentleman named Akiyuki Nozaka.
Okay.
Now, the short stories were a big hit, and over the span of 20 years, he had actually been approached multiple times to do a live action movie based off of this story.
Oh, I could not handle that emotionally. I barely got through the animated version.
He turned down basically all live action. Like, he turned them all down. He would argue that the reason why he's turning it down is because it was going to be impossible to create the barren, scorched earth that had to be used as the backdrop of the story.
That's actually very fair. I don't think we get that kind of thing until Godzilla -1.
It is very right on, Paul, but also that's kind of a brutal reason. Like,
I mean, if he lived through it,
yeah,
he would.
I understand that.
He would have strong feelings about it for sure.
It's just kind of brutal that he's just like, live action is not going to cut like deep enough the devastation. So no, we can't do live action.
I bet they could do it now.
Oh,
I wouldn't recommend it.
No,
I wouldn't recommend it with the state that like we're doing movies now.
Yep.
But I'm saying we have the technology to we could do it.
So he actually was surprised when a offer came across, his table, so to speak, to do an animated film based off of these stories. And after seeing the storyboards, he concluded that it was not possible for such a story to have been made in any other method than animation, and expressed surprise in how accurately the rice paddies and townscapes were depicted in the storyboard for the animation pitch.
Okay.
So that sold him on it. This is kind of where it gets not really complicated, but it gets pretty interesting, because when this movie is being made 20 years after he wrote it, a lot of the people that was going to be working on this were the younger generation. They did not live through what Nasaka had lived through with World War II. And there was
one animator.
One animator. He got it.
He's the only one. Iso Takehata. He was the only animator involved in the project who survived the bomb. So he knew what was
now. Takahata here, he actually approached a gentleman by the name of Nizo Yamamoto to be the art director. Yamamoto actually wanted to turn it down because he actually said, like, I can't do justice to this film because I didn't live through this. I'm young. Like, how am I supposed to depict this in like the art? And then Takahata apparently persuaded him by saying, it is precisely because you don't know the war that I want young people to do this. I don't know why he wanted young people, but that was his inspiration. I guess to teach young people.
What happened?
The devastation of it. So they actually, during the production of this, I found this pretty interesting. They had some issues with animating Japan for that time, to the point where Takahata actually was considering to use non-traditional animation methods, but had to kind of move forward with traditional animation method because of release dates. He said that it was difficult animating the scenery in Japan because apparently in Japanese animation, one is not allowed to depict Japan in a realistic manner.
Huh. I wonder why.
So animators had to travel to foreign countries to do research on how to depict like their own country from foreigners.
That's very strange. I've never really thought of that. I guess it kind of makes sense when you look at some of the older stuff.
Yeah. I guess I could kind of get it. Like, you don't want it to seem too realistic, or maybe it was like Japan's way of saying, don't give out our secrets or whatever it is. I don't know.
They're just keeping a fantasy element alive in their stuff.
Yeah. Another interesting fact for this movie, illustration outlines were filmed in brown instead of traditional black.
Okay.
And they did this mainly because they wanted to give the film a softer feel. to it.
Okay. I definitely feel that when you watch it, like, especially with Seskoa, like she's a very like softer boiled toddler. Like I have a lot of commentary about her because I believe she's 5 or 4 years old, but like, I hate to say this, but I saw a lot of my son in her in a way, and I think that's what really got me. But I do have kind of a fun fact about this.
All right. Hit us with the fun fact, Andrew.
The film was initially distributed with My Neighbor is Totoro because it was the only way that Miyazaki could have been able to make Totoro, because they didn't want to fund his movie. So they pitched it as a double feature with Grave of the Fireflies.
What did you watch first?
And originally they did Totoro first and then Grave of the Fireflies. And then they had to switch it because people weren't staying for Grave of the Fireflies because, word of mouth got around. They're like, this shit is sad.
Dude, that Neighbor Totoro, fun movie. But then you gotta stick around for an hour and a half, cry fest.
And then another weird little tidbit about this movie: it was indefinitely postponed in South Korea because the South Korean government thought it justified Japan's actions within World War II. So they were like, we're not. And you're a big history buff. Japan was not kind to their neighbors.
Bad blood there.
And so I watched this dubbed. Dubbed. What did you watch it? You watched it dubbed?
I watched it dubbed. Andrew, I watched this at work.
That's a dangerous game.
It was one of those things where I'm like, I can't. Like, my coworker's gonna look over here, just see me bawling like a baby, and they're gonna be like, "Are you okay?"
Now, I want to bounce around this movie as a way. I'm just up top. You might get an accidental spoiler slip from us, but I want if you want to watch the movie and then listen to us talk about it, here's your chance, because we're about to dive on in. Yes. And first of all, this movie is a masterpiece.
Oh yeah, fantastic.
Roger Ebert said that this is the most powerful World War II film ever made.
I can see it.
But we follow Setua and their names are so similar. I forget. Seta and Setsuko. Seta is, probably,
he's a ninth grader, I believe. So
okay. So like he's like 13. And Setsuko is his younger sister, and she's about 4 or 5 for sure. Yeah. And let me tell you something. That the attitude of toddlers does not change no matter where you put them. It could be on the playground or in war-torn Japan. They're always going to go, I'm hungry. I'm thirsty.
When are we getting there?
Are we there yet? Is this over? And it's just like, not now.
Set to bless his heart.
I mean, it starts with like the bomb sirens are going. Their mom has a bad heart, and so he's like, "Hey, we'll get there."
You go ahead. You go to the bomb shelter. I've got sis here.
Yeah, and so they get to one shelter. They say their mom's at the other. She got caught in a firebomb. Because that's what that's where they were just firebombs in that one. And I mean, she already had a bad heart. She dies. So mom's gone. They can't. Seta is mortified to tell Setsuka because he's like, she can't handle it. I mean, it's like, and it just, that's where, I mean, this movie starts right out the gate tugging at your heartstrings because she's like, where's mom? Where's my mommy? And you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, like it hits hard. Takahata,
Yeah.
I actually saw that he actually said that he criticized TV shows and movies that had recreated the incendiary bombs in like their television, and basically said that they include no sparks or explosives.
Yeah.
I was there and I experienced it, so I know what it was like. And
what a bar.
he
what a
did
thing.
like it. Those incendiary bombs that they dropped, that scene is pretty wild.
It's rough because it's like you hear a baby crying in a fire and you're like, fuck. And you're like, fuck, this is sad. But also in the back of your mind, you're like, this happened. This had to have happened.
It did.
Like, it did happen. There are several, several historical documents are like, hey, this shit happened.
Yeah.
And I really want to take a good chunk of talking about, I get it's wartime.
Yeah.
That aunt is a bitch. She's a right royal cunt if I've ever heard one. Look, yeah. Maybe Seta needs a talking to, that he's got to pull his weight. Whatever. Setsuka's 5 years old.
Yep.
Yeah. Or at the very least, give them direction.
Yeah, don't just... They are still children.
Help them out. Yeah, they're still children. Like, if anything, Seta is a teen by maybe a day. You know what I mean? And it's like, clearly you can see something's wrong with Setsuko. She's got, I don't know if that's an animation choice or it's part of a rash from malnutrition, but that aunt could be helping in some way.
That aunt, it almost felt like it was more just, it seemed like at first she was cool with it, like them coming to stay, because she thought, oh, this is going to be a weekend, maybe a week tops.
She got fed up with them after she stole all their stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Using them for money, and then instead of just like sitting them down and being like, look, you're
a mom too.
Yeah,
so when that kid's crying, you ought to be like, hey, I wonder why she's so upset and uncomfortable every night.
No, you know what? Just shut up.
You're not working hard enough. No, you're not pulling your weight. You guys are such a hassle.
And then what does she do when they're like, we're leaving. Where are you going? Don't know yet. All right, bye.
All right, bye. Yeah.
Just, what the hell, lady?
Like, you should. Another one is like the farmer. Like, come on, man. Just let him work. Just let Seta work there. You know what I mean? Why is nobody helping these kids? It's like the most frustrating thing about the whole series. And I get that we're rationing, we're in war. But I mean, I guess it really was just every man, woman, and child for themselves. And it's like, it just gets so much worse for those two. And then, like, they go live in that cave. And that was another tear-jerking scene where it's like as the movie progressed, Setsuko gets worse and she's old enough to where she's old enough to where she can tell you. So she's got to be, I would have to say she's 5, because 5 is like when kids can really start communicating. She's like, my tummy hurts. I have watery poos.
Yeah.
And you're like, and then like the doctor's just like,
get her more food.
Get her more food.
Malnutrition.
Like, where the fuck am I supposed to be getting that? And like, I don't know, man. I don't think I could look at 2 starving children and be like, well, we're in a war. Go fuck yourself. And
I mean, the only thing I can think of is if everybody around you is starving and like if everything is bad around you, then maybe you become a little desensitized.
You get a little hardened by it.
Yeah. To the point where you would see 2 children who are completely homeless and slowly dying, starving to death, and you will just be like, okay, whatever. Survival of the fit. I mean, I don't feel that in my soul, but then again, I've never been in a war-torn country, so I'm just talking out my ass here. But I feel like I'd help them. I like to think I'd help them. Maybe that's just like, I've traveled the world, and one of the biggest complaints about Americans is we're far too optimistic. So that might be my American optimism showing. Maybe.
Where it's like, I'd help those kids, but I'd show them that the stars and bars are worth it. And then and then the war ends, more or less. And that's when poor Seta learns his dad is dead. Has to be. He probably died a while ago. They talk about how he wasn't writing letters back. He wasn't writing letters back to anybody. So he's probably been dead for a while. But after they tell him oh yeah, every single Japanese naval vessel, they sunk them all. And he was on one of them. So he's done. And the gut-wrenching thing, he's pulling out the rest of the money. He's like, I'm going to get her food. And then, Setsuko succumbs to malnutrition. And you're like, fuck. There were several times in this movie where I was like, that's it. She's dead. Like, there were several times where I thought she died. And then when she did finally pass, I'm like, fuck. And it's like, I don't know if it's the dub. Maybe the sub has a better conveying of the dialogue. But when that guy is giving her the charcoal so he can cremate her, it seems like he's not very sympathetic as to what he lost. It's like, hey, be sure to get him hot. Make sure that she's burnt completely. And it's just like, he's about to cremate his sister. How about a little bedside manner, please?
I think that's kind of the ugly beauty of the movie is the fact that it does just kind of show you when you're going through something like this, you kind of do become just
I mean, that's probably not the first charcoal kid's funeral set he's handed out that day.
He knew exactly, told him to go to the temple or something that they would help dress him. He's been through it. And
he knows what to do.
I feel like if you want to kind of keep your sanity to a point, you do have to kind of just become numb to it.
And it's like he does a little narration. He's been narrating pretty much the whole time, so it's like
because did we even talk about how this movie even begins in the first place?
Well, I mean, we did kind of a little bit, but Setsuko tells you he's dead, and we watch him die within the first 5 minutes, and then all the adults, they don't give a fuck.
They'll it's slowly at a train station, and he's just sitting there slowly dying, starving to death.
Several other boys.
Multiple children.
Yeah, multiple children, and they just
the
say,
janitors come up.
Yeah, just move them along. They're nobody. We need to clean this up before the Americans arrive. And you're just like,
he goes to another boy, and he's like, "Yep, this one's dying too." Like, then help.
There's no time. I guess. I mean,
it's wild.
Tough. It's war. It's something that you and I have never experienced. And
we don't know what that's like, but it's wild that shit happens in the world where it's just you become used to death.
Yeah,
to the point where it's just like
large scale, where it's just like, just move them. We got to clean this up.
Yeah,
we have company coming. They treated them like old shoes, you know. Just throw them away. I mean, we do get a sweet little thing at the end where it's like her ashes spread and they get to ride this ghost train, and there's all these fireflies because they had that moment in the cave where
they reconnect in death.
Yeah, and it's just like, but it's like, it's so hard. You gotta watch this movie. You gotta do it to you. You owe it to yourself to do this to yourself.
It's sometimes it's good to be in your feels.
I mean,
this movie will make you in your feels.
I say this all the time. A good tragedy can really do a good little reset.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't even want to do your reoccurring segment. I find that to be disrespectful to this movie.
I mean, you could do it. I would just be very interested in what are you going to do for it, Andrew?
It would be like reviews that are...
I'm a terrible person. Reviews that are 6 feet in the grave.
Hey, I was going to say reviews that are in the grave and reviews that are fire.
Okay.
I hate myself. Unsubscribe to our Patreon.
So, Andrew, sitting at an 8.5 out of 10 on IMDb.
As it should.
Over 380,000 ratings.
Well, in like July of last year, this movie made it onto Netflix. So they made it very easy to access. So that's kind of the reason. It's like for a while, this movie was incredibly hard to find. But now it's not. So go ahead.
So I'm going to kind of paraphrase a lot of the kind of the sentiment on the 1-star reviews, because there actually is a few of them. A lot of people feel like it's sad. I saw someone talking about like they're mad at Seta and the decisions he makes. They're like he made
he makes a lot of poor decisions, but also he's a 13-year-old child who just lost his mom and potentially his dad. He doesn't learn that till months later.
Yeah,
it's and his one adult guidance is fucking atrociously bad at guiding youth.
Yes. So I'm going to read this one titled Waste of Time. Poor animation, shallow storyline, predictable. I was looking forward to this used on reviews, really. If you want a war movie, see Private Ryan. If you want a good animated film, see Finding Nemo. I was bored the entire movie, Hugh.
What a fucking... uncultured piece of shit. Saving Private Ryan is a decent World War II film.
Hang on. Saving Private Ryan is a really good
It
film.
is a really good movie.
I wouldn't say it's like the best World War II film.
Yeah, it's not the best. That's what I'm saying in comparison to like World War II films that we've watched.
I mean, if you want the best World War II anything, Band of Brothers is where it's at. I watch that series like once a year. It's so good. I love it. So the 10-star review, you can imagine they're all just about how heartbreaking this movie is.
These reviews, go ahead with the reviews, but I'll have a comment about it.
I'm giving you the shortest one because everybody is pouring their soul and heart on these reviews.
Yeah.
The shortest one titled, "Just a small tip for people intending to watch. Right after you end watching the movie, watch the beginning once again and cry a river of tears. I'm so sad now that I'm crying while typing."
Yeah. So how you perceive this movie as good or bad, in my opinion, is how you perceive your own ability to deal with sadness.
Yes.
So, like, this guy who's like, oh, this movie sucks and the animation is bad. I don't believe him. I don't believe he thought that. I think he got hit with some emotions that he did not understand. And I know that I'm guessing this guy's gender, but come on, it was a man.
Yep.
But, you know, it's like when you get hit with sadness, it's one of the toughest emotions because it's like you don't know what to do. Like you can express your anger by yelling or hitting something or doing deep breaths, or, you know, when you're happy, you'll laugh, you'll giggle, you'll hug whoever's next to you. But when you're sad, you really only have bottle, cry.
Yep.
And both of those don't feel great.
No
Crying's
one likes
awful. Yeah, no one likes to be sad, but there's a whole Pixar movie that tells you why you need to be sad sometimes, and Grave of the Fireflies will definitely achieve the goal. Like if you're like, because sometimes I don't know if you know. You can look at some dudes and be like, that guy needs to kind of have a good cry.
Yep.
And it's like, he just hasn't. And he's like, hey man, you should check out Grave of the Fireflies. Why? I thought you'd enjoy it.
Perspective. It might give you some perspective.
I mean, it's just there, but you know,
it is.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Everyone's got Netflix. And if you don't have Netflix for whatever reason, you can find. But
go watch it.
Yeah, I highly recommend watching it. If you're not a person who likes to cry in front of others,
watch it.
Do a solo watch.
Watch it while you are in the office at work, and then just let people wonder why is the old Jim over there bawling his eyes out while he fills out paperwork. If
you have kids, buckle up. I mean, I'm sure if you don't have children, this movie will hit you just as hard, but it's just like, if there's a child in your life you care about, even a micrometer, this movie is going to fucking annihilate you.
It annihilated. I'm going to speak on behalf of Andrew, but I believe it annihilated both of us.
Yes. But, gosh, I hardly want to make this even funny. But if you would like to support the show, I mean, that wraps up Grave of the Fireflies. Yeah. And AniMay as a whole.
Yes, we are done until next year.
Yep, until next year. Good God, we're going to do something more upbeat next week. I promise.
I'm going to find the saddest.
Actually, we got a request about some fucking show, so you can't.
Oh, man.
I already got it planned, and I promised them. If you'd like to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/cartoondd. There we have the $5 tier that gets you stickers and pins mailed to your door, access to our Discord, and access to the mega request for your request goes to the top of the list. If you'd like to go to our website, you can at cartoondumpsterdive.com. We are Cartoon DD on Twitter and Cartoon Dumpster Dive everywhere else. If you're listening to this on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're listening to this on another podcasting platform, please leave us a 5-star review because it always helps out the show. I'm not making a joke. Have a great rest of your week.
See you.